Hiya and welcome to the Teen Whisperer, the podcast for mums of girls who are often labelled as too much, too sensitive, too emotional and too different and just don't fit in. I'm Rach Friedley, fellow mum, coach and play specialist, and here's what I believe. Our girls definitely do not need fixing, and we don't need yet another list of strategies that make us feel like failures in our role as parents. The truth, behaviour is not a flaw. It's a signal from the body, and it's the body's way of asking for support without the words. This podcast is about listening, not controlling, connection, not correction, and giving you tools that actually work in the chaos of real everyday life or everyday real life. So if you're ready to stop second guessing, feel confident again and finally connect with your daughter at her level, you're in the right space. So keep listening.
If I asked you what anxiety looks like, you'd possibly say panic, restlessness, can't sit still. But what if anxiety, or those anxious thoughts, looks like a girl who can't get out of bed, who won't eat, who's gone completely quiet? That's not laziness, that's freeze, and we're missing it everywhere. So welcome back to the Teen Whisperer, the podcast for mums supporting girls who are shut down, disconnected or fading away. I'm Rach Friedley, and here's the reframe that matters today. Freeze doesn't look dramatic, it looks quiet, it looks still, it looks like nothing is happening. But underneath, her body is in deep survival mode. And yes, I'm a mum too, so 100% get where you're coming from. The heartbreak of watching her disappear, the fear that you're losing her, the guilt that you didn't see it sooner. So today I'm showing you what freeze actually is beneath that surface. So let's dive in. So here's what's happening in the mums I work with. They're describing daughters who used to be bright, engaged, connected, having fun, doing stuff, and now they're withdrawn. They're silent, they're unreachable, and everyone's telling their mums, it's just hormones, in inverted commas. She's being a moody teenager. This is normal for girls. Give her space and she'll come around. But months pass and nothing changes, because what looks like attitude or laziness, as other people seem to think it is actually a nervous system in freeze. And until we see it for what it is, we cannot help. So let me explain what's happening in her body. Freeze is the oldest survival response we have. When threat feels inescapable, so when pressure feels inescapable, when she can't fight it, when she can't run from it, her nervous system does the only thing left. It shuts down. This is called the dorsal vagal response, and it's designed to conserve her energy and protect the body when there's no way out. So think of it like this. Her nervous system has hit the handbrake. Everything slows, everything dulls, everything goes quiet. Not because she's choosing to, as people keep telling me they are, but because her body is struggling to survive. So freeze does not announce itself. It doesn't demand attention. It looks like low or no appetite, extreme fatigue, slow movement as if she's walking through treacle, that rabbit in the headlights, that lack of glossiness in her eyes, her digestive shutting down, so no interest in food, that numbness instead of sadness, the feeling nothing instead of feeling bad, disconnection from her own body, withdrawal to a room 24/7, stops responding to texts from friends and other people that care, cannot make decisions, even the simplest ones, and says, I don't know what's going on repeat, again and again and again. And here's where it gets tender. Sometimes freeze shows up as self-neglect, not eating, not showering, staying in the same clothes for days, or repetitive self-soothing, chewing ice, picking skin, pulling hair, and sometimes self-harm. These are not choices. They are not a
attention seeking, as we're regularly told. They are the body trying to regulate when it has no other tools. I'm going to talk more about self-neglect and self-harm later in the year because it deserves its own space. But for now, just know, even those behaviours are freeze. Messages from a body that's overwhelmed. So why do we miss freeze? Well, do you know what? I'm so glad you asked. Here's the thing. Freeze is the opposite of what we expect distress to look like. We expect crying. We expect panic, outbursts. But freeze is so quiet. So we think, oh, she's fine. She's just being lazy. And we miss it. Especially in girls. Because girls are praised for being quiet, for not causing problems, for being easy. So when a girl goes into freeze, we think she's just been a good, calm teenager. You know, the perfect teen that we're expected and told that we should have. But she's not calm, she's shut down. So a mum in my WTF community told me her daughter stopped going out with friends. She stopped texting back. She stopped doing the things she used to love. And the mum just thought, maybe she's growing up. Maybe she's finding herself. But 6 months later, her daughter still hadn't come back. That wasn't development. That was freeze. And it took seeing the pattern behind the behaviour before the mum realised, my daughter isn't choosing this. Her body has taken her choice away. So let's be clear. Freeze and depression can overlap. That doesn't mean that they do overlap, because they're not the same thing. Freeze is a state, a nervous system response. Depression is a condition, a clinical diagnosis. The key difference, freeze responds to safety and regulation, and that comes from you mums. When the nervous system feels safer, freeze starts to thaw and melt. Depression may need way more than that. So here's what I tell mums. You can hold both. My daughter's nervous system is in freeze and she may need clinical support. There's no either or for that one. So why does encouragement backfire? I mean, I've talked about this before in previous podcast episodes, and this catches mums off guard because when your daughter is in freeze, you think the way to get her out of freeze is to encourage her. But in fact, it actually makes it worse. Because encouragement adds expectation. And in freeze, expectation feels like yet more threat. Her nervous system hears, if I try it and fail, it proves I'm not enough. So she stops trying because she doesn't want that sense of failure. So instead of rising to meet you, she goes deeper into shutdown. I mean, I know I'm somebody who's done this more often than not. I said, I know you can do this, can I just try it? And my daughter shuts down every single time I've used it. So now we've shifted to, you don't have to do everything right now, I'm here for you when you need me. And within days, her daughter started coming out of her room again. Not because I fixed anything per se, but because I stopped adding threat to her days. So we break things down into teeny weeny steps because that's what works. So let's get practical. What not to do? Push, prod, give consequences for her bad behaviour in inverted commas. Compare her to who she used to be because she knows who she used to be. She knows what she used to do. She knows all the activities she used to love. She knows about the laughter and the fun. But right now, she feels scared. And all of that increases threat for your daughter. So what to do instead? Have low demand presence. Be nearby. Say to her, I'm here when you're ready. Don't need to engage with her. Don't need to get her to talk. Just be steady. Just be present in the moment for whatever she is dealing with. Give her predictability, so help her to form a routine, doing the same rhythm each and every day. So wake herself up, get herself out of bed, have a breakfast, get dressed, you know the gist. Even if she's not doing anything, it gives her a great start to the beginning of her day. Her nervous system will then know what's coming, and it gives her brain that time to go, oh, I
I know what's happening. No pressure care. Give her warm food. Don't ask her questions as to what she wants. Just give her the food. Curtains open gently. So for me, I open my daughter's curtains at the edge of her windows, because that way that sun ray isn't hitting her face straight off and jolting her upright, because as soon as you have that jolt, she goes further into freeze. So it's about opening the curtains so that she has the light coming into her room gently. Again, I'm making a cheese sandwich for your lunch, and that's it. It's a small shift, but it makes a massive difference. And I measured it by, did I show up without adding pressure? And over time, my daughter started eating more. She started being interested in food. She started to recognise that hunger, not because she was forced, but because her nervous system started to feel safe. So a massive reframe to hold is she's not giving up. Her body is trying to protect her the only way it knows right now. Our jobs as mums are not to pull her out of freeze. Our jobs is to be regulated, a steady presence whilst her body remembers what safety feels like. That's the work, and that comes from us. So yeah, freeze is not forever. Nervous systems are designed to move through states when they feel safe enough. She will come back, not because you pushed, not because you coerced her, but because you held steady. So next week we're talking more about your nervous system, because you can't hold steady for her if you're falling apart. If this episode helped you to see what you've been missing, please hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and share it with a mum who needs to know this stuff. And if you're thinking, I need more support understanding this, I want to connect with other mums who get it, check out my webpage. Check out the programs that I offer to you as mums of girls. So it's at the 3 W's, theteamwhisperer.co.uk. And take care. And remember, you're doing way better than you think. So see you next week. Bye!